Okay, this is where I tell you that you know the rules. Robots paint, you guess, and I give some clues along the way. Once again, we're going to be doing the top 20 figures in Russian history. So, number 20, you're going to know a lot of these. He once toured the world as a young Roy, including a stop in Japan where he was actually attacked. Despite implementing reforms, his reign ended in revolution. His family was famously photographed and tightly controlled for public image. His advisor was controversial mystic and who wouldn't die quietly. His advisor may show up on the list later. This guy was the last emperor of Russia. Yeah, there you go. You know. You don't know his number, do you, Ramos? It is Tsar Nicholas. That is correct. Do you know his last name? It is Nicholas II. Nicholas II. And they were the Romanovs, right? The Romanovs. 1868 to 1918, unfortunately. Once a symbol of the divine monarchy, Nicholas II's downfall epitomized the collapse of imperial power. Ironically, he was canonized by the Russian Orthodox Church decades later. So there you go. They liked him later. Well, according to the robots, it's Nicholas II. And it's Romanovs. All right, number 19. So going back just a little further, this was a real important leader of Russia. This guy survived multiple assassination attempts before one finally did succeed. He sought to modernize his country with trains, courts, and schools. So this is the modernizing czar. His military lost badly in Crimea, unfortunately, prompting major changes at home. He freed millions of serfs in one bold stroke of reform. So he started some reforms. He is actually known as the Tsar Liberator. He tried to drag Russia into the modern world before being blown up by a bomb. Yeah, Russia's been a rough place for a long time. Now, he lived from 1818 to 1881, if that helps at all. Anybody know what this guy's name was? This was Alexander II. Alexander II, though his reforms were revolutionary, Alexander II was killed by those who thought he hadn't gone far enough. Can't please them all. His death, ironically, delayed the progress he had set in motion. Often happens. All right, number 18. He once packed 90 suitcases for a single trip. Don't know how this relates. His dreams literally helped him organize things. He predicted the existence of elements before they were discovered. He's a scientist. He's a mad scientist. He was obsessed with vodka, specifically his ideal alcoholic beverage. He actually invented the periodic table of elements. This is the guy. This guy's a chemist. or a physicist. I don't know. Is that both a chemist and a physicist? Periodic table of elements? Anybody know this scientist? He's got the hair going, don't he? A lot of these Russian guys have the straggly beards. Manly beards. Dmitry Mendeleev. Mendeleev. Dmitry Mendeleev. Mendeleev's chart turned chemistry into a structural science. He also helped standardize Russian vodka at exactly 40% for science, of course. I wonder how he had to experiment with what was the right percent. All right, another scientist of sorts, number 17. This gentleman didn't start out studying dogs. He began with digestion. His laboratory became famous for its bells and bowls. Yeah, lots of taste testing on that vodka thing. Got to do that when you're there. Oh, very good, Ross. Very good. He once trained kids and animals with the same methods. That makes sense. His most famous experiments involved a salivating puppy. He discovered the conditioned reflex, giving us the term Pavlovian response. It looks like Alexander Graham Bell. I know, it does. You are correct. It looks like Alexander Graham Bell. But we are doing top 20 figures from Russian history. And this is Mr. Ivan Pavlov. Ivan Pavlov. Though Pavlov didn't love psychology, his experiments made him its founding father. Ironically, he disliked being associated with Freud. Didn't like Freud. These guys are kind of quirky, these Russian scientists. All right, moving on. Number 16. How about more of an artist? Writer. Poet, perhaps. This gentleman was once exiled for writing poems considered too hot for Tsarist Russia. His great-grandfather was African, who rose to nobility. This guy actually fought 29 duels. And his last one's what got him. He's credited with modernizing Russian language and storytelling. Anybody know who this guy is? He's got a very distinctive appearance. He is Russia's national poet and the father of Russian literature. Going once. Going twice. This is Mr. There you go. Arena's in the house. Arena saves the team. Alexander Pushkin is correct. Kind of looks like Willy Wonka. Get to. Pushkin's legacy looms so large that school children will memorize his verses. His life was as dramatic as his characters, minus the happy endings. He had lots of sad stories with his life. All right, let's stay in the literature area for number 15. Remember, we're doing the top Russians in history. He was top figures in Russian history. He was nearly executed, then spared at the last second. He was a gambling addict who once pawned his wife's belongings. His writings explore guilt, redemption, and existential dread. He wrote about dread. All good guesses, Ghetto. Kinda good. His characters wrestle with murder, faith, and human soul. He wrote Crime and Punishment and The Brothers Karamazov. Anybody remember who wrote The Brothers Karamazov and Crime and Punishment? He's got that Russian beard thing going. Those are all good guesses. Tolstoy's a good guess, but it's incorrect. This is Mr. Fyodor, with an F, Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky's work shaped modern literature and psychology alike. His philosophical intensity made him a favorite of both scholars and midnight thinkers. There you go. Moving on. Now let's get a little political. You'll probably recognize the rest of these guys. Fyodor, yeah, Ghetto. Very good. It was Fyodor. All right, you know this guy. He had a distinctive birthmark and a Nobel Peace Prize. He allowed people to criticize the government on live TV. Unheard of in Russia. I don't think they allow it anymore. He was the face of pizza ads in the 1990s. He was the face of pizza ads. I don't remember that. He introduced policies of openness and restructuring. Rhombus. He was the last leader of the Soviet Union. It's the birthmark, Ghetto. It's the birthmark. You're correct, Arena and Rhombus. This is Mikhail Gorbachev. Mikhail Gorbachev. Saying it more properly. Gorbachev tried to fix the system, only to accidentally end it. Whoops. He believed in the West and remembered with mixed feelings at home. Oh, he beloved the West. He liked the West. There you go. Gorbachev. All right, let's move on. Now, this is one of the rebellious guys. He was exiled multiple times across Europe and Mexico. He's been banned a few times. Remember, we're doing Russians, Ghetto. You got to get with the category. We're doing Russian history. He founded a worldwide revolutionary organization. His weapon of choice, fiery speeches, and a sharp pen. He built the Red Army from scratch. Unfortunately, he was assassinated with an ice pick in Mexico. Correct, Rhombus. Very good. Very good. Yeah, this is like one of the original Bolshevik guys, right? Leon Trotsky. He was always kind of battling with the other guys for power and stuff. Yeah, Trotsky is correct. Leon Trotsky. Trotsky dreamed of global revolution and paid for it in blood. His exiled diaries read like the ultimate what might have been tale from the 20th century politics. So if you read his diaries, he says the way it should have been. The way it should have gone down. And it didn't. Oh well. Win some, you lose some. Number 12. Remember, we're doing famous figures in Russian history. Number 12. This gentleman once danced on stage during a rock concert on TV. He climbed a tank to rally against a coup. Yeah, there's a famous picture of him in downtown Moscow climbing on top of a tank and giving a little speech. He loved democracy, vodka, and late night calls to world leaders. Not necessarily in that order. He oversaw the chaotic fall of the USSR. So when Gorbachev left, this is the guy that took over. He was Russia's first post-Soviet president. There you go. Arena. Hey, Ghetto, you're in the right country. Good guess. What is Mr. Yeltsin's first name? Anybody remember? You are correct. This is Mr. Boris Yeltsin, born in 1931 and passed in 2007. Yeltsin was a reformer in a whirl of crisis. To this day, he's a symbol of wild freedom, economic mayhem, and the 90s in Russia. There you go. Let's go to number 11. Kind of looked like John Adams, I guess. Kind of, a little bit. All right, let's go to the world of music. The world of music. This gentleman composed a frenzy, then doubled every note. He's famous for composing complicated. His melodies are still played at every ballet recital ever. Did some good work. He was deeply emotional and hid a personal secret from the public. This is the guy who created the Nutcracker and Swan Lake. Now that's pretty good, right? He qualifies. Yeah. He is the most beloved composer in Russian history. Yeah, you are correct, Rhombus. And it's hard to say his whole name, so I'm going to start working on it right now. I think it's basically Pyotr. Pyotr, like Peter? I don't know. Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky's music is as iconic as it is haunting. Even people who don't do classical hum his tunes every December. All right. We got to do one bad baddie. Well, we're going to do more than one bad baddie. Doctor's in the house. All right, we're done. We're doing the top 10 now. And this guy is a baddie. He was once described as the man with a death list in his pocket. He ran secret police operations with brutal efficiency. He used flattery and fear to rise in Stalin's circle. This is like Stalin's right-hand man. He oversaw torture, gulags, and political purges. He had a job. He was Stalin's chief of secret police and was executed after his boss died. Oh, Doctor knows who this is. Doctor knows the baddies. You were really good at the serial killers too, Doctor, as I recall. I don't know if there's any relationship. Yes, this gentleman's name is let's see. Lavrently, more or less. Lavrenti Beria. B-E-R-I-A. Beria. Beria's name still inspires dread. He was the shadowy master of terror until he became a victim of the machine that he operated. I think you know this guy. This is the guy who was the advisor to Mr. Nicholas. He claimed divine powers but had questionable hygiene. Well, okay. He gained access to royalty through a sick child. His enemies tried poison, bullets, and they tried to drown him. He was a mystic with wild eyes and wilder rumors. Yes, all right, you guys all know this. Dr. Rambas. Yeah, I know. Alex is missing out. I think Alex might be working tonight, unfortunately. But we will reprise this sometime when Alex is in the house. And we may even do a whole night on Russian stuff. We'll do a Russian-centric night. So yeah, it's a bummer he's missing this. You are correct, of course. This is Mr. Grigory Rasputin. Rasputin is a mix of holiness and scandal made into legend. The only thing more dramatic than his life was his death, many times over. I guess they tried to kill him a bunch of times and it didn't stick. I think it was the mystic thing. He kept coming back to life. He might have been a vampire. Don't know. All right, I think you know this guy. This gentleman actually orbited Earth in a metal capsule smaller than a smart car. His famous first words, "Let's go." He became a Cold War hero overnight. His smile lit up propaganda posters around the world. Yeah, doctor. You are correct. He was the first human in space. And yes, this is Mr. Yuri Gagarin. Yuri Gagarin. He was born in 1934 and passed away in 1968. That's not very long. Did he die in an accident? Can't remember. Gagarin proved the Soviets could win the space race, at least at first. He never flew in space again, though, but did become a living legend on Earth. Yuri Gagarin. There he is. He's number 8 on our list of famous figures in Russian history. We're doing 20 of them. And Mr. Yuri Gagarin checked in at number 8. Go down to top 7. Ready? Here we go. Top 7 figures in Russian history. She wrote steamy love letters and political manifestos. Dual interests. She admired Voltaire more than her husband. She actually staged a coup and took the crown from her husband. She expanded Russia by hundreds of thousands of square miles. She was one of the ones that expanded Russia. Yes. Rhombus, doctor. You are both correct. Catherine ruled with enlightenment flair and iron will. Her art collection helped create the Hermitage, and her court was full of gossip-worthy drama. Catherine the Great. I've got, if you go to my channel, I've got lots of Catherine the Great stuff. The AI tends to make her younger. Younger and quite beautiful. I'm not sure that this one's more accurate, though. She was just powerful. Catherine the Great. Okay, let's go down to number 6. All right, another great one. Here's your clue. This gentleman forced nobles to shave their beards and pay a tax if they did not shave their beard. So, most of them probably shaved. He traveled Europe in disguise to learn about shipbuilding. I guess they weren't building enough good ships in Russia at the time. He fought Sweden to secure the Baltic access. So he had to, yeah, correct. This is Peter. Peter. I don't know if Arena's still in the house, but Peter the Great is the big palace that we visited in St. Petersburg. Is that correct? Has anybody else been there? Hey, Patty, what's going on? You are correct. Peter the Great. There he is. Is he the one with the big palace in St. Petersburg, just outside of St. Petersburg? Yeah. Really cool place. He dragged Russia into the modern European world. Peter towered physically and politically. Literally 6'8" tall. He made Russia a major power and gave it a window to the West. Peter the Great, 1672 to 1725. Yeah. There you go. We're down to the top 5 figures in Russian history. Everybody knows this guy. He spent years writing pamphlets in exile before the big moment. His train ride back to Russia was financed by the enemy. He hated monarchs, landlords, and Mensheviks. Whatever a Menshevik is, he did not like them. Correct. Say Ramos got it first. What's Lenin's first name? You know we like the full name around here. This is the gentleman that led the 1917 revolution. He founded the Soviet Union. Yes, Lenin is preserved in a glass tomb, still watching over Red Square. His idea, I guess some people can go inside of Lenin's tomb and see him still sitting in the glass box. I don't know if they got him frozen or what. Not sure about it. Vladimir Lenin, of course. Yeah. Oh, Arena's even got an extra first name. I don't know what that means. Ulanov. Vladimir. Okay, I didn't even know that first part. Arena will know. Thank you, Arena. Number 4. All right, I think I saw this answer earlier. This gentleman tried to give away his wealth, but his wife had other plans. He dressed like a peasant and walked barefoot. Sounds a bit eccentric. He had a crisis of faith and reinvented his life. This is the gentleman who wrote Anna Karenina and a little book called War and Peace. Yes, now it's time. Now it's time, Rumpus. Who remembers Mr. Tolstoy's first name? Yeah, the War and Peace author. Correct. He's one of the greatest novelists of all time. Tolstoy's works are as massive as his beard. He writes long stuff. His views on nonviolence influenced Gandhi and annoyed the czars. No doubt. Is that right, Theodolite? We normally just call him Leo Tolstoy. But you might be right. All right, top 3 figures in Russian history, and they're all bad. Sorry, Russia. Oh, and Arena has the full name there. Okay, we'll take that. Thank you. I won't try to say that one. Thank you. Yes, you already know who it is. He once trained for the priesthood. Did you know that? Then chose revolution instead. He was part of the original Bolshevik group. He loved westerns and American movies. He erased enemies from photos and, from the planet. He led the USSR through World War II. He ruled through fear, purges, and killing millions. Yes. Joseph Stalin. Don't they call him like Papa Joe? Papa Joe, is that right? Joseph Stalin. Papa Joe? Not sure. I think so. Papa Joe? Stalin shaped the 20th century through sheer force. His reign is remembered with both awe and terror. A contradiction he'd probably enjoy. Maybe. He's a baddie. Oh, and Arena's got the whole thing for us. Thank you. Appreciate that. Those middle names are tough. I'm not going to attempt those middle names. The middle names are like the maiden, the wife's family name or something. Maiden name? I don't know. Something like that. All right, number 2. Another baddie. This is a little bit older baddie. This baddie was born in 1530. He had a terrible temper and a worse childhood. He built a spy network before it was cool. He's the first one. He accidentally killed his own son. It's a baddie. He founded Russia's first centralized tsardom. Yes, Dr. Ann Rhombus' team effort on the answer. And did you realize that he was the first Tsar? The first Tsar. He was Russia's first Tsar. And he lived up to his nickname. Yeah. What was Ivan's real last name, I wonder? Ivan the Terrible is all I've got on here. Ivan, something Russian. Who knows? Who knows Ivan's real last name? Ivan the Terrible, born in 1530, passed in 1584. Ivan's paranoia was legendary. He's credited with uniting Russia and terrorizing it. All right, we're down to the last Russian. And according to our robots, the most important figure in Russian history. Yankovic. Like Weird Al. I got a Weird Al story. You guys, I always got personal stories. I actually went to college with Weird Al. In my class, in architecture school. Can you believe that? Weird Al has a degree in architecture. During the college years is when he became famous on Dr. Demento. Weird Al. I got a Weird Al story. Oh, we'll have to pull out all the Dave stories sometime, and we'll do pictures for them. Yes. So you know who this guy is. He's been in power longer than most czars. He reshaped Russia's image at home and abroad. He once brought along a mean dog to a meeting to intimidate a fellow leader. Sounds like something Trump might do, though. Putin is the most recognizable and controversial modern Russian leader. Whether strategist, strongman, or survivor, he's defined 21st century geopolitics. Mr. Vladimir Putin. He was born in 1952. And there it is in Russian. In case we want that. Hey, Patty, what's going on? Patty's still in the house. Didn't scare her away yet. Oh, Merkel's the one afraid of the dogs. That's funny.